Welcome to another episode of the Lovers and Things podcast,
where your favorite couple's favorite couple
talks about the things they love.
Oh my goodness, that was very dramatic.
I thought it was pretty good.
I like it.
Of the ones that we've been doing, that one felt pretty much in sync to me.
Yeah.
To me,
it was given like 90s R&B.
Okay.
Early 90s.
Early.
R&B.
That's a specific era. I'm glad you made that distinction because
90s.
a little more melodic.
Yeah, you had to roll over the 80s greats, dipping into the 90s.
It's a very specific era.
I was like 3.
Okay. Like what are we saying? But welcome back, guys. I'm Lex.
And I'm Greg.
We're here for another episode of just shenanigans, loving the things per usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we always start off with the how's it going? So, hey, how's it going?
I'm good. One of the things that I've been tackling is a lot of the human connection to
Wait, is this a deep dive at the beginning of the episode?
Because
oh my God.
I'm noticing things.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like there's
your third eye open?
I don't know. It's not like an anthropology thing. It's like there's like something. There's some things are happening.
Oh wow.
And one of which is, do you ever notice that?
Oh boy.
Text.
oh boy.
This is getting real deep.
Oh boy.
It's black text on white paper, right?
Yes. You mean for like script, for things that are
books,
written?
Yeah, things that are written, anything like text, your phone, or whatnot, everything.
Yes, usually.
And the human eye is a black pupil behind the backdrop of the white eye. Do you think that text is black on white because we're so used to reading eyes that when we see our books and things like that, we want it to like reflect something that's very contrasting in that way, similar to our eyes? Do you think there's something there?
If not for the fact that they were like green eyes and blue eyes and hazel eyes,
okay.
I may be with you. I may be with you, but I see what you're doing.
Now, blue eyes. There's blue ink.
That's true.
Green ink.
Green ink.
It's the white backdrop.
The white backdrop that matters.
I think there's something there.
There may be something
That's
there.
why it's so effective. All books have been written on white paper.
No, listen, you're not wrong. It also could be because like creating color is far more difficult to do and expensive.
Or that.
Black is, just
that.
offering another side. But yeah, that's the thing.
I thought there was something there.
There is something there, but I love that there's like this internal human grounding, something happening with you as of late.
Yeah, I think I'm making connections. That's what I'm getting at. I'm making connections.
Wisdom. You know, they say as you get older, wisdom happens. Like, is
That's
the wisdom?
wisdom.
The wisdom is unlocking.
When I'm getting older, gather around, grandchildren.
Have you ever thought
noticed?
of? That's that wisdom.
That's wisdom.
Yeah, that's
you
that
You
wisdom.
get a few years under your belt. You start making connections.
Listen, I'm scared of you in 7 years, buddy. Woo,
yeah,
boy.
I'm getting there.
That's hilarious.
Do you have any prophecies that have come to your mind?
Nah, I ain't got no prophecies.
What else has been going on?
I ain't got no prophecies for y'all this week. I'm sorry, I'm a little dry on those, but other than that, life is lifing. That's my prophecy for the week. Life is lifing.
We have a long weekend. We're in our long weekend.
We intentionally made a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
Which we've been trying to do because, we spend so much time working because we're 9 to 5 people, and we spend so much time with our work family. I don't like using that word because you don't know them people like that, but your work people, your co-workers, your counterparts, that, you have days off for a reason. Like, you have space to do those sorts of things. So we intentionally took off a Friday and a Monday so we could just live life a little bit. And it's been cool to just live life. We ain't go nowhere. We ain't do nothing. We just kind of just lived and enjoyed our home and enjoyed each other. And I thought that was really nice.
And we had an amazing lunch today.
Yeah, we did. You want to tell them about it?
We got some Thai food.
Greg's. I think I was going to say Greg's favorite kind of food because I think it is at this point.
I will officially say
it.
That my favorite cuisine, you guys hear it, is Thai food. And let me hit them with what is that one?
What is it?
Thai
he still
food
got the sounds, y'all.
Is it?
He still got the sounds. Y'all thought it was one episode. Incorrect.
No. Thai food is it. Thai food is reigning champ in my eyes.
Okay.
Of cuisines.
Oh, period.
Oh, yeah.
In the world.
The world.
Globally.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say that.
I can. Let me tell you why.
All right.
I'm coming out to get hot. The curries.
Oh, yeah.
The greens.
Okay.
The regulars. And I just had today a mamasan, I think it's called. Masaman.
Masaman.
Which has like a sweet pineapple-y, potato-y curry vibe. That curry is hitting.
Hits.
Thai food curry.
Yeah. Specifically.
Next, they've got the fried rices. Crab fried rice.
Basil fried rice.
Thai fried rice.
Pineapple fried rice.
Fried rice. All at your preference of spice level.
Oh, God. When they say mild, medium, or hot, I always say medium. But my heart be wanting to say hot sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you want to say hot, but you know
hot.
you can't. You know you're not ready. You're not ready for that hot.
No, not that kind of hot.
So they got the curries, they got the fried rices, and they got the noodles.
The stir fry noodle selection, top tier.
Pad Thai, Pad Siu, crab how, something like that. Pad Ki Mao.
Pad Ki Mao, which I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
What else is there to ask for?
Thai iced tea.
And then the Thai iced tea.
Oh my God.
To wash it all down.
Oh my God.
Name a cuisine that can go toe to toe against a Thai plate.
And you know what it is too, if you think about it, is because they've got all the carbs taken care of.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
The carb, you could get me if you got some carbs.
Yeah, the carb categories are taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chime in, y'all.
Not only that, they have the little dumplings, spring
Oh,
rolls.
those are the apps. I mean, the apps.
I mean, but I think those are fair. For those of us who like a lighter bite, spring rolls are delicious. You don't like the little curry puffs? The little curry puffs are delightful.
I don't think their apps are that great.
Oh, I like their apps. I like the variety.
If I'm apps, I'm going Chinese restaurant. Some dim sum.
No, the reason why I say Thai food's apps are pretty good is because a lot of them you can get vegetarian, and at some of the places you don't get that variety. You can almost get everything on the appetizer menu vegetarian.
Yeah, I'm okay on that.
Well, you know.
I haven't had many good apps that are like worthwhile.
To each their own. It's fine.
So you love the apps.
I like the fact that most of them are vegetarian. I like that. I like that I don't got to be looking through whether or not, I just know that they're going to be straight. Yeah. Oh, and tom yum soup.
Tom yum soup, papaya salads.
Oh my God, papaya salad. We get that every time we go to a Thai place. That papaya salad just be slapping.
And those are just like the American lanes.
Yeah. I don't even know that's authentic or not.
Those are the spaces that I dip my toe into.
Right.
I can only imagine the menu that, has text that I don't even know what those words are.
Fine. Top three cuisines.
What's
Thai
up there?
food is up there.
What else is up there with top three? You're going to say top three. Not number one, because I say number one.
What competes with the depth of Thai food? Okay. Let me be honest.
What are you thinking? Because American.
I'm going
food
in my mind.
hitters.
I'm rotating the globe in my mind, like it's going, and I'm going to each region. Cajun food.
Cajun is up there.
Cajun food is up there, but the problem is the lack of diversity in Cajun food.
Okay. The roux are kind of similar.
Yeah.
You got etouffees, you got the
gumbo.
The gumbos, you got
jambalaya.
Yeah.
It's all in that similar vein
family.
of rice, gravy, veggie, seafood.
Yeah, and the gravy is very similar. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, while delicious and flavorful, I don't think it has the range that Thai food does.
Yeah.
But it's definitely up there.
I'm onto something.
You're onto something.
Chinese restaurants are up there too.
Oh, shoot.
Chinese.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
talking about good Chinese. Yeah, I'm not talking about your local, the place that you go to that's connected to the gas station.
The copy paste menu.
Yeah,
all of them have, no matter where you are in America.
They all got that same.
The menu, I'm pointing because the menu is behind the cash register.
This is the menu.
Above but the menu has the same. You can go to any place and say 12, and the 12 is always going to be an orange chicken. They got the same menu.
It is always the orange chicken.
Right. And they got the same recipes.
Yep.
So,
no, I'm not talking about that.
But they got some Chinese place. You sit down, get you a stir fire 3.
Oh my God. There's this place in Montclair that we recently went to. Is it? I can't never say that word right. Szechuan Kitchen? What's it called?
I don't think it's Szechuan Kitchen. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's something else.
It's a sit-down place in Montclair, and it is delightful.
Delightful.
Now, that is Chinese food.
That's Chinese food.
So I think that part of the world got something going on.
Got something going on.
What's going on over there?
They got some good food. That's what's going on.
But you guys let us know, what is your favorite type of international cuisine? Everybody like their home cooking, right? Everybody like their culture's food. But outside of your own cultures, what's your favorite? Like, what hits for real?
Yeah.
Curious to know.
But that's what I'm on. I'll stand 10 toes down.
Okay.
On some Thai food.
And do that. I'm going to stand with you. It's very good. Very good.
So yeah, aside from what you got going on with your, how you been?
Like I said, I've been good. I was excited for our 4-day weekend. I'm excited for the weeks ahead. You know, I have been taking everything week by week. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
As one does.
I just take it week by week.
You gotta be careful with that, because the future will sneak up on you.
Nah, not that I'm not aware of the future, but in terms of like my emotional and mental capacity, I can only worry about what's happening this week. Like I can't be too far down the road. So like I feel good about this past week. I feel good about this upcoming week. I have goals that I have set for myself, and I'm gonna just keep pushing. You know how I do.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna shout you out because I think you have been such a great partner, and recently we on the podcast in life too.
Dang, not the caveat of on the podcast.
But creatively,
I'm weak.
Creatively, you've been a great partner, because we recently did like a little. We took some time off to think about the show a bit and the format and like how we're going to reach people and things like that. And you've been a great partner in that, and like walking us through the thought process. I love the way you think. I think when we both get together and start thinking, them cylinders are firing, and we flow.
Yeah, I think we think well together. And what Greg is referring to is we did like a sort of like a branding exercise for lovers and things, because you know we care about this platform, we care about you guys. We want to make sure that we're providing the best of the best to you guys, and just the long term, you know, what we want to do here. And I said before we started it, because we took like half a day to like really sit down and just share our ideas and stuff. And I was like, man, this is the first time that like we're thinking together.
Like working together. Because we live together. We love together. But working together. We do life together.
It's different though. Because you in a work capacity is different than me in a work capacity. I don't see that side of you really.
Right.
So it was interesting, but it melted like butter. No problem.
Yeah, it was flowing.
It's crazy, right? It was
flowing. Yeah, shout out to you.
Thank you, honey.
I appreciate the way you think through things, and your vision, and your ability to contrast my perspective on things, which is very execution and action and operations centric. Yeah. Whereas you have a more eye towards like the human element of things. Sure. So I think us together, we're a good team.
Yeah, and likewise, I like that you keep me grounded. I think you keep things very practical and actionable. And for someone like me who is very pie in the sky, big idea, forward thinking, it's good to have, you know, gates and things that are practically moving things forward. So yeah, I think between the two of us, we be rocking out.
I got a good balance.
Yeah, I'm not lying when I say that you're my person.
Yes, likewise. So shout out to you,
honey.
Lex.
You're so sweet. That was so kind of you.
And I know you've been watching some things.
Oh, yeah, guys. We're introducing a new segment.
It's a new segment. Wow,
it's a new segment.
Yeah, so what's this new segment?
Oh, let me give it a song.
Okay. Okay,
what's Lex watching? What's Lex watching? What's Lex watching? Yeah. What you watching on TV? Bruh. Yo, you're out of control.
We're gonna have to workshop that one, but I like it though.
Not the bro. I'm crying.
Yeah, what's Lex watching? Because you know, I recently outed you for being a prolific television watcher. I know we got some messages come in about that.
Yeah.
Where there's some side chatter.
The friends didn't like that I wasn't covered and protected in that moment.
People were questioning my loyalty. But this is not outside of my loyalty to Lex, which is strong. It is, as in spite of that moment. This is a people thing. Yeah. Lex as a person.
Yeah, as a
person. Watches programs.
I do.
That's her thing. I'm just shining light to who she truly is, y'all. If y'all know her, y'all know that she gonna watch a program.
I love a program.
And so don't be surprised if she already
if I've already watched it twice.
A good example of that is I know my wife, and I know she likes to watch programs. So I was scrolling through HBO Max, and I noticed like Lex hasn't been watching anything really. And the show Ready to Love Ready to Move or something like
Make
that.
a Move.
Make Ready to Love colon make a move,
Yes.
which is, if anyone watched the show Ready to Love, which is a dating show.
Yep.
I guess this is like a spinoff.
It is, yes, with some of the fan faves of previous seasons.
So the intellect in her boredom, she was looking so sad. She was just sitting there on the bed, like she had to like try to talk to me. And then I was like, Lex, look, there's a new show on HBO. You should on Max. You should watch it. It's Ready to Love, Make a Move.
I was so excited too.
And then your eyes just like lit up. And I was like, okay, watch it. Watch like an episode or two, right?
Yep.
Y'all, the next day, she finished the entire season. One day.
I did.
I didn't even know
it was a weekend though.
Feasible. I don't even know. Are you watching this stuff on 2x, 1.5 time rate? Somehow, I don't know how those hours line up.
Yeah.
But you're able to pack them in, and you watch the entire series in one day.
A day and a half. And I'll tell you how I did it. For those who are binge watchers, you know how you get it done, right? You just watch it back to back, and you watch it with everything that you're watching. So if you're you making dinner, you watching it. You know, you taking a shower, you're watching it.
Oh my god!
I watch it. If you. I'm giving away all my
she's
secrets.
Not lying. She literally has a setup in the shower.
I do. You guys know on one of the episodes I actually talk about my entertainment setup in the shower.
Yes.
I use it primarily for when I'm washing my hair. And ironically enough, that particular weekend, I had to wash my hair.
Oh,
you guys know this is a 2-hour investment, maybe 3, another hour under the dryer.
Well, you're getting that 6 episodes in right there.
And then I'm done. I mean, it's not as hard as it sounds, you know.
I physically can't watch a show that long.
You can't.
I get distracted and I get bored. But shout out to you, which is why we need to highlight that with the segment, What Lex is Watching.
What's Lex watching? What's she watching on TV? Yeah. All right. So for this.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just stop.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll get an intro. So for this segment of What Lex is Watching, I'm also watching what the rest of the world is watching, and that is Love is Blind Season 6 on Netflix. All right, I thought, you know.
Let me produce.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So this is not the first season of Love is Blind. Like I said, this is season 6.
Yeah.
And so for those who aren't aware, if you're not part of the reality show circuit, it is produced by the couple, Nick and Vanessa Lachey. They are also semi-host of the program, whatever. But the concept of the show is that couples or individuals, both male and female, come into what they call a pod experiment. And the goal of this experiment is for each of these individuals, there's about 12 women, 12 men, and they're rotating in these small pods where there is a wall in between them, but they can hear each other, but they can't see each other. And so over the course of, I think, 10 days, throughout those 10 days, the only goal is for these individuals to date each other, to find who they have connections with, and eventually get down to the person that at the end of this experiment, they will marry, right? So in this 10 days, they're to define the person that they want to get engaged to. They then get engaged, leave out into the real world, and then have a 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month or so, to decide whether or not they want to actually walk down the aisle and get married to each other. The goal of this is for them to establish a relationship with each other, sight unseen, to fall in love with the person, not their looks, not what they have to offer in that way, but who they are as a person. The concept is beautiful.
Yeah, love is blind.
Love is blind. That's the concept, right? Each season, though, it gets messier and messier. I think the most pure season, obviously, was season number 1, when there was no hype around it and people were genuinely there for the prompt, which is trying to find someone to love. But honey, we are now on season 6. And by the time we get to season 6, people are signing up to be famous and things get foolish.
Oh, yeah.
So
you run that risk now.
You run that risk now of people not caring about love. And I think this season was a good representation of that. Usually, and if you have not seen the season, spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about stuff. But the season has officially ended. And we know who got married and who didn't.
Right.
And of the couples who made it out of the pod, only one of them got married, which I think is a record for Love is Blind, that only one couple. Record lowest. I think only one couple got married. Only two made it down the aisle, and one actually got married, which is crazy. But outside of that, please, I encourage you to watch this season because it is full of all sorts of shenanigans. But I am just going to highlight 3 of the most notable moments and couples in this season, and we're going to talk about it. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
The first couple that we're going to talk about is my absolute least favorite for number number of reasons, but we're going to talk about Laura, 34-year-old account director who decided that she was going to get engaged to Jeramey, a 32-year-old manager of intralogistics. I don't know what that means.
Logistics.
That's what his profile say, child. I don't know what that means.
Let's go with it. Okay.
So Jeramey was actually in between two women in the pod. He was into Miss Laura, again, our 34-year-old account director.
Yeah.
But he was also into Miss Sarah Ann, a
Sarah Ann,
a 30-year-old semi-influencer, but customer support manager. That's what she do for her 9 to 5.
Got it.
But anyway, they get out of the pod, both Jeramey and Laura, after getting engaged.
Right.
But somehow Jeramey just can't keep his life together. He can't just stay with Laura and make your stuff kind of work. So he ends up going out one night and encountering Miss Sarah Ann, who was his other love in the pod.
Now, is this is this by chance?
No, I mean, it's
not.
supposed to be by chance, but he says it's by chance. She just happens to be there. Who knows the truth?
Not a meet cute. What is it?
No, it's not. It's not a cute meet.
I think it's meet cute.
Meet cute. It's not that. This is outside of filming.
It's planned.
It seems like something was going on. We don't know for sure how it happened, but what we do know for sure is that Jeramey decides to stay out until 5 a.m. talking to Sarah Ann about their relationship because closure was needed.
Where was he talking with her? And this is a pointed question. Where did he say that he was talking with her?
He told his fiancee Laura that he was talking to her in the parking lot of the bar. You know, they were just talking at 5 a.m.
In the parking lot of a bar.
In the parking lot of the bar until 5 a.m. And he said, look, I even shared my location with you, Laura, so you wouldn't have to worry. I shared my location. And Laura's like, well, actually, your location by way of your Apple Watch says that you were across town at the girl's apartment.
Ooh,
and truth
salacious.
be told, that's exactly where he was, ladies and gents. So
is
Jeramey's a
rough.
liar. We find out Jeramey to be a liar. But one thing that I want to know about Jeramey that we should have known he was a scammer, because every time you saw Jeramey, he had on glasses and a full-on baseball cap in the house every single episode that you saw him.
He did. That made me uncomfortable.
Didn't it?
How are you in a house, in your house,
Your own house.
and you got a cap on like you out in the streets?
Like it's giving very much I'm hiding from myself.
It's giving the guy from you.
It's giving Joe from
Joe,
you. He
Guys put
looks
the
like
hat on.
Joe from you.
Yeah.
In
That's
every
very
episode.
suspicious, y'all.
I like it.
You know,
I like it.
Everyone knows we're equipped
Yeah.
to help people
Try my
find scammers, as per
Listen.
the Risa Tisa episode.
Absolutely.
Who the F did I marry?
Listen,
And we gave y'all the sleuthing kit.
we gave y'all all the tips and tricks.
Another tip is watch out. They're wearing a hat all day.
Yeah.
They got shades on.
Yeah.
And I think this is the ultimate combo. And I may hurt some feelings.
Okay.
Hat, right? Shades, beard.
Oh, what
All
are
they
we
got is
even
their
looking
mouth
at?
out
What are
and
we
their
even
nose out.
looking at?
You gotta watch out for those.
Absolutely, because what are we looking at? Who are you?
You're just a nose and a mouth.
You're a nose and a mouth, and that could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
Suspicious.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying
Suspicious.
about Jeramey. The fact that he was out in the real world, not even showing his real face half the time, liar, manipulator.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
He's slippery.
He a little sneaky.
A little sneaky.
And he a liar. Like
Clearly.
at the end of the day, had Laura, his fiance, not caught the fact that he was not where he said he was, he would have absolutely carried on that lie until the end of time.
Scary. That's a scary person.
Like that's crazy.
Who goes through all that to lie, to jump through that many hoops?
Doesn't work. So
That
that
is
is
a
that.
scammer.
That's number 3. That was 3. Number 2, my number 2 most memorable moment is this moment between another couple, Chelsea, a 31-year-old flight attendant and event planner, and Jimmy, a 28-year-old software sales associate. Now, similar to the previous couple, Jimmy was in this sort of love triangle between Chelsea and another girl named Jessica.
Okay.
Now, Jessica, she was a young mother. She's a single mother. And that was a little much for Jimmy. He felt like he didn't know if he wanted to step right into a stepfather role. Totally his choice.
Okay.
So he decided to go with Chelsea. In my opinion, one of the things that also took him over the edge, outside of the fact that Jessica had a child, and that was felt like a bit much for him, was the fact that, Chelsea mentioned the fact that her celebrity doppelganger was Megan Fox. That people often told her that she resembled Megan Fox.
Bruh. Did she resemble Megan Fox? Tell the people.
objectively, there are characteristics. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not one of the people who feels like she doesn't look like Megan Fox. She, from like the top of her nose to the top of her eyebrows, it's giving Megan Fox a little bit. It's giving Megan Fox a little bit. But then the full package isn't giving Megan Fox. And I think she's not Megan Fox. Okay. And I also think on a show like Love is Blind, you are kicking yourself in the butt yourself if you're going to talk about how you look. That defeats the whole purpose. Like, this man now has an idea of who you are. Now, granted, you have some features similar to Megan Fox, but you're taller, you're curvier, you don't have the same exact hair. Like, you don't.
The head shape, everything is different.
Everything is different outside of your eyes and your eyebrows, girl. Why would you say that?
And who says who says that about themselves? That's also a weird thing to say.
like what?
If you look like a very attractive, like a celebrity that's known for their image.
Yep.
I don't think you're the one to say that. I think other people can say whatever they want about who you look like and who you resemble, but it is very weird to say who you look like, especially if you don't really look exactly like them.
Yeah. And I think when you think of, like, for instance, if I were to say that I look like, and I do not look like this person, but anyone, if I were to say I look like a celebrity, they would not only be thinking about the one feature of mine that we resemble, they'd be thinking about my energy. They'd be thinking about my personality, my body shape, the whole thing.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. Like,
by leading with a celebrity look-alike.
It's crazy.
To that effect.
And so when Jimmy sees her, because he proposes to her, they get a chance to see each other. Yeah. He sees her and his immediate response is, like it's more of a, and he even says to the camera in his kind of like confessional moment that she lied a little bit. She said she looked like Megan Fox and I died.
Which is why you don't say that.
Like, don't say that.
Let other people say stuff like that about you, but don't say that yourself.
So she
there was this like infamous moment when they hug and he's looking into the camera
with like deadpan eyes.
He breaks the third wall and is just like into the camera.
Poor Jimmy.
A la The Office.
A la The Office, exactly.
Yeah.
But Jimmy and Chelsea, as you can imagine, the same as Laura and Jeramey, do not make it down the aisle, which is fine because they didn't need to.
I remember they had some challenges, they bumped heads a bit, and I remember him expressing that he felt like she was a bit clingy, and what I was reading from her was huge victim vibes, like
huge.
Her victim saboteurs were like on fire, like every moment, every argument, it always came off of like a why me, like why are you doing this to me, as if like he can't have his own feelings on his own, and it not necessarily be at your detriment. He can have his feelings and that just be where he's at with regards to that relationship.
Agreed.
It doesn't take away from you. And every moment where they had these little riffs, it was so hard to watch because it was just, she would just fall into this victimhood complaint, and it was really rough.
Yeah.
Because like, what is he supposed to do about that? Then he feels bad, so then he says sorry and takes her back or says nice things to her to make her feel better, when that was not even the whole point. The whole point is that the foundation of this relationship is not solid, and that's what he's expressing to you. Not a moment to just coax your ego and your feelings and make you just feel better. But the victimhood was really rough with her, and that I think that's really ultimately drove the relationship to an end, because I don't think Jimmy is his name. I don't think he felt like he could communicate to her. Yeah,
I fully agree. I don't think he felt like he could communicate to her. And the victimhood became manipulative. It's a manipulative thing, and it's also a learned behavior. I'm curious how long Chelsea has been using that tactic to get what she wants. And it also, ultimately they broke up because one of the kind of straws that broke the camel back is that Jimmy had told Chelsea in a moment of secrecy that, hey, one of the friends that you've met or going to meet is someone that I've had an intimate relationship with, but we're just friends now. But he did not want that to be on camera because obviously that's his friend's business as well.
He explicitly
said, I do not want to share. Yeah. And she, in a moment of her insecurity, in order to manipulate him back into the relationship, she's like, well, you did have sex with her and you told me you had sex with her. And she says this on television in the middle of this argument. And that was like it for Jimmy. And I don't blame him. So
he doesn't feel safe.
He doesn't feel safe with her. He doesn't trust her. So they didn't work out. And that was one of the biggest moments in the show for me as well. And I think a learning lesson. If you want to be with someone, they've got to trust you. What's the point of being in a relationship with someone that is going to manipulate your emotions to their benefit and that you can't even trust with your like closest secrets? Like you might as well be sleeping with the enemy.
Yeah. And that brings back to a bar. There's many iterations of this line of like the idea is like, don't argue to win, argue to, aim to communicate. Yeah. Like, and it was giving a lot of, I just want to win the argument.
Agreed.
I just want to win this connection.
Yep.
I just want to win as opposed to, I truly want to understand and communicate with each other. That's so important I think for healthy relationships is to have that understanding of like, look, when we get to issues, we just gotta, our goal should just be to like really connect and hear each other and understand each other, not necessarily just to win an argument. Yeah. Because where does that get you?
Yeah. No one wins that way.
Because she won a lot of them technically. Because at the end of them, he'll go, "Oh, I'm sorry. I love you so much. You're the best thing that ever happened to me." And then there's only so much of that can hold up a relationship.
Yep. Until eventually it's like, actually, this isn't fair. This doesn't feel good. Yeah. Yeah. So that's Jimmy and Chelsea.
Stop trying to win, y'all.
Yeah, don't try to win. No one wins at the end of the day with that sort of tactic. And last but not least, this couple has the internet on fire for a number of reasons, but it is AD and Clay. So AD, short for Amber Desiree, is a 33-year-old real estate agent and nightclub manager, as we come to learn. And Clay is a 31-year-old enterprise sales person and entrepreneur. Enterprise sales. They don't. I mean,
I was rooting for them.
I was too. Number one, because Black love. Number two, because I just felt like I wanted to see it. Like I wanted to. They had some similarities. Like they both were entrepreneurs. They both were around the same age. Being in similar age usually works. They seem to have the same level of hustle. They were both beautiful people.
The vibes were there too.
The vibes were there. There seemed to be some level of attraction there. Amber Desiree AD is gorgeous. And so and Clay's a handsome guy. They made a good looking couple. I thought they both seemed to have good maternal figures in their life, which we came to see later on in the episode.
They look like they had their head on their shoulders.
Yeah, they look like they were focused. Again, they're in their 30s. I like to see people on these shows that are a little bit more seasoned. When I see 21 and 23-year-olds on this show, I'm go live.
Red flag.
Go live. Go live some life. Go have fun. You're supposed to be having fun. So I was really rooting for them. Yeah. But one of the red flags about Clay that came out almost every single episode is the fact that he has this childhood trauma around his father being unfaithful to his mother. He, for some reason, knows that his father started cheating on his mom about 7 years into their 24-year marriage. Okay. And unfortunately, in one of the biggest parental no-nos and just lapses of judgment I've ever heard in my life, Clay's father would often take him to see his mistresses. So Clay would be present while his father was building and having relationships with other women that weren't his mother, that man's wife. And so Clay, understandably, has quite a bit of trepidation around this idea of what marriage and fidelity actually looks like. He hasn't seen it. And in fact, he's been privy to what, in my opinion, is the game of it all. He's been privy to my dad is saying and doing some things one way, but he's showing up a different way. What does it look like to be authentic in a marriage? I do not know. And I think that's what he really struggles with. Yeah. And I think that's what he was communicating to AD. I think Clay really wanted to be a husband, but there was something in him that didn't know if he could really do it.
Like show up in the right way.
Yeah, if he could actually show up in the right way. And so they actually made it all the way down to the aisle. Like they made it to the wedding. Even before the wedding, Clay seemed very much positive about it. But then he has this interaction with his father, who he's in the men's groom's kind of waiting
Yeah,
room.
the room, yeah. Dressing room.
His father comes in. He's like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting to see you. And they have the most awkward conversation between a father and the son,
Yeah.
which the father starts off the conversation sharing, a moment of competitiveness between them.
Yeah.
And then the father starts listing his personal accomplishments and how Clay's accomplishments were a reflection of him and how the father lived vicariously through him. All these are things that he said. And it really was disheartening for me because in that moment, it felt like to me that man didn't know his son.
Yeah. And then it was so obvious that the first thing that Clay says when he sees his dad is, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here.
I didn't expect to see
I didn't
you.
expect to see you, which is,
yeah,
that's rough. Yeah.
And so that conversation was sad to me. And so after that moment, it was at that moment that I was like, oh, well, then I'm not sure. Like, maybe he's happy to see his dad. But you could see, and even at the end of it, Claire's like, hey, we have drinks here. Do you want to stay for drinks? And his dad like, no, I'm going to leave. And then the dad just leaves.
Yeah.
Like, just leaves, doesn't hang out, doesn't have a moment with his son, just leaves. And
you could tell there's like not a real relationship there.
Yeah.
Yeah. To even see your son and start bringing up old accomplishments is kind of like, isn't that technically old news for a parent-son relationship?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, the moment to talk about my track and field highlights and achievements would have been when I did them, and now I'm getting married, we should be talking about other things. Yeah. And that's what you would expect a father to be talking about. Like, let's talk about what's happening now, because I already know about your accomplishments. I already gave you we already had that moment. Now it's a different accomplishment. Yeah. So you could tell that there wasn't a lot of communication there simply by the topic of discussion. It's like, okay, we're talking about track and field now. That's odd.
On my wedding day.
Yeah, that happened in the past, you know, and it was a very odd thing to talk about.
And I felt bad for Clay in that moment because I think what I personally would have liked to see was his father be proud of him for making this decision, for choosing well in his wife and, taking this step towards building a family and a legacy for himself. So just like really pouring into him that way. Yeah. But then I remembered what Clay said his daddy had did. And then I'm like, oh no, well, this man isn't going to do that because this man didn't respect marriage when he was in it. So why would he do it when Clay was about to do the same thing? And so the one thing that I'm going to say about Clay and AD, and I know this is not going to land well, but I'm going to say it anyway. One thing that Clay kept saying was, my father is such a good man. I really admire my father. My father was such a good dad, and I love my father. And I think because we love our parents so much that we are always going to give them that grace, despite the things that they have done. But I am going to say this with as much love as I possibly can, that I do not believe that you get to have the Parent of the Year award or the Best Parent award if you intentionally did not treat the other parent of your child well. Yeah. And what I mean by that is you don't get to say you were a good parent because you showed up to the baseball games, because you gave them money when they needed it, or that you fed them, when spiritually the other parent who had to be present for them was struggling and not doing well because of your intentional decisions, right? And I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm talking about you taking your son to see you cheat on his mother, and the emotional weight, and the fact that he never told his mother that. And so Clay had to go home and know what he had seen and hide that from his mother until his adulthood. That's the rough. Weight of that is terribly hard to carry. So I'm sorry. Parents do not get to say I was the best parent in the world when you were also disrespecting the other parent of the child. It does not work that way. And that doesn't mean that you can't grow a relationship that can heal from that sort of trauma. That's not what I'm saying, but it does not negate the negativity that was laid in your child that way. Yeah. Cause at the end of the day, that's their parent. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't talk bad about someone I know's parent, right? Or I wouldn't intentionally continue to mistreat someone that I know's parent. Oh, that's my homeboy's mom. That's my homeboy's dad. Yeah. So if we're gonna give that respect to other people, to like at least be respectful of other people's parents, why aren't we? We should also be doing that for our children and their parent that you may not be in a relationship with anymore. Yeah. Or just that basic respect of like, at the end of the day, that's my mom. At the end of the day, that's my dad. Yeah. Like, I think you sometimes see, and I
I blame Jerry Springer,
Jerry.
you know, you see like there's like a drama. You can see like a proliferation of drama between baby mothers and baby fathers, and like that trope of people not really respecting each other in that regard. But at the end of the day, like it's at the basic sense. I know some people may not do the right thing. Some people may not show up in the right way, or some people have disappointed each other.
Yeah.
But to that child, that is their parent.
That's their
and let's at
parent.
least, when communicating with the child about the parent or surrounding the parent, let's at least be decent.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying lie.
Yeah.
But let's be decent.
Yeah.
You know,
Be decent, be fair, and
sensitive. You know.
Yeah, and sensitive to it, because you have to think, like, even if you aren't in a romantic relationship with your child's parent, but especially if you are, it is important that that child has a parent who is emotionally full, who is mentally stable, who is fully present for them to pour the most into your child. That's your child that they're taking care of. So it behooves you to do well by that person too. Right? This whole idea of like, oh, so-and-so was a terrible spouse, but was a great parent. I always argue that.
Terrible spouse, but a great parent.
Yeah, because if you were a terrible spouse, there's a piece of that inevitably flowed over into your child.
Oh, no doubt.
No matter how much you try to hide it or how much things are behind, whatever. Some of that always trickles down to the child in some way or the other. So, I mean, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone deserves grace. And again, you can build past those moments. But I think it's important for parents to recognize, and in Clay's dad's instance, have the opportunity to apologize for the mistakes that were made and tell Clay, look, I didn't do that well, but that doesn't mean you can't, right? I was wrong for doing this. I should not have done that. But you have the opportunity to have a better future than I did, to have a better marriage than I did. And that's what I was hoping his dad would have done in that moment.
And it goes back to what I said earlier about another relationship. I think the dad was mostly trying to win.
Oh, yeah.
And instead of trying to communicate.
Solid. Yeah.
And
that's a solid observation.
Even when the dad was speaking to the mom, he was still trying to win.
Yeah.
I met you, you know, he needs to get a good woman like I got you. And then she immediately...
the bar of the century.
She immediately corrected him. And I don't know exactly what she said, but she was basically saying that you weren't good to me.
Yeah, she said, well, you found me, but you weren't good to me. And I said,
and then he immediately drops his head, which shows like he was more egocentric or more so trying to win and look like he does good things. And that's not the point. You're not, and then people need to be more honest. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah, just be honest, y'all.
Stop
it's
trying to
easier to be honest.
Lead with your soul, not your ego.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that concludes what's Lex watching. What's Lex watching on TV or something like that. We'll figure it out. But honestly, guys, I hope to do this segment more, because the reason why I enjoy reality TV and documentaries in general is because I like the sociology behind it. I love the study of people. I love the studies of groups and cultures. And I find so much to pick from in moments like these. And so this is just an example of that. The show itself is entertaining, but I think there's stuff that we can learn from these individuals and their relationship. So I hope you enjoyed. I know a lot of you are watching Love is Blind as well. So let me know your thoughts on the things that I just shared. Did you have the same perspectives on these couples or not? I'd be curious to know. So you guys can leave voice notes on Spotify Podcasters app or on Instagram, YouTube, wherever we are. But I'd be curious to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, current events.
Yeah.
Oscars happened. We didn't watch it.
We didn't watch it. Sorry, y'all.
If
you were expecting an Oscar review, you ain't gonna get it.
I did notice John Cena was on the stage Nekkid. I
saw that clip and I said, well, how much they paid John to have his tail out like that?
Right? And then I was looking and I read a little bit closer on the comments of like what the caption of what it was. And apparently he was giving awards for best costume design.
Oh, that's clever.
And I thought it was a pretty smart way to bring awareness to costume designers.
I agree.
In a sense of like, look, without costume designers, they could very well be out there naked,
looking crazy,
or worse, with a terrible outfit. I'd rather be naked than wearing a terrible outfit. And I noticed a lot of comments. This is what I'm tired of: the people on the internet.
Yeah, things I hate.
And Cat Williams stirred the fire up with the conspiracy theory, the Hollywood Illuminati conspiracies and whatnot. And every time anything happens, everyone's trying to find their way to make that connection. And And then people are saying, "Oh, this is his humiliation ceremony. This is his moment. He's turning
Yo, that's wild."
Like, John Cena. First of all, he's been in movies.
He's a
right?
legend
He's already,
at this point.
He kind of already made it.
Yeah.
And it's not that deep.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that deep. Mm-hmm. He cleverly they put together this stunt,
mm-hmm.
really, and I think it paid off. I think it really, if you really are paying attention, it brings awareness to costume designers,
mm-hmm.
and that was the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not everything is a conspiracy.
Not everything is a conspiracy, y'all. Sometimes it's just good TV.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just good TV. Take it as entertainment and move on. Y'all got too much time in your hands.
Right. And I appreciate people that are still holding on to that "you can't see John Cena" thing. They're like, why is there a floating card? I don't see anybody there.
So that's hilarious.
Yeah, so
you
shout
had
out
to
to
be
them,
there.
too.
You had to be there to get that reference.
Yeah.
You had to be there.
But we went and saw Dune 2,
Yeah.
part 2.
So instead of the Oscars, we went to see Dune literally at the same time that it was showing. Well worth it though.
Yeah.
My God, what a film. No spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review.
Right. And I had you watch it because you were supposed to watch it because you were supposed to watch part 1.
Yes.
So that we can watch part 2 in theaters.
Yes.
And you were procrastinating on that.
I kept falling asleep.
I
tried to watch Dune Part 1 no less than 5 times.
Yeah. And then this is the one thing, and this is for all the couples out there that have to watch films or television shows with their partners.
Yeah.
And you build up the moment, you press play, and then time goes by and you look to your right and they're
That's
gone.
me.
They're asleep. And
That's me.
And then you just watching the movie by yourself, and it's like, I've already seen this. I don't need to watch this again by myself. So there was countless moments like that where you were just going to sleep, just gone, your head rocking and all.
It's a slow build.
It's a slow build. And gladly, thankfully, you watched it right before we watched.
Yeah, literally minutes before we saw the other movie, I was in the car with my phone watching it on Max.
Yeah, we're waiting for our
meals. Because look, we don't go to the movies. Okay. When we go to the movies now, it's not just like popcorn and drinks because it's usually dinner time, and this theater has a mildly robust food offering.
It's acceptable.
It's acceptable.
Not great.
So not great, but it's movie trinkets.
What'd you order?
I'm not telling the people what I ordered. That's my business. But I ordered a lot of food.
We had, let's just say we had dinner, and it was not a dine-in theater.
It was not a dine-in theater.
Our hands were full.
Pizza. We had wings. We had popcorn.
Popcorn was like to help us watch the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But the first part, we over there
pizza
chomping it up.
And what else did we have? Oh, that
and
was
the big old drinks.
2 medium drinks.
The big old, my movie theater medium is big. Yeah, we were slurping and
having a
smacking.
good time, feet kicking because I like the reclining, warming seats, y'all.
Oh, these seats are warming and cooling.
Like, oh my God,
good theater. That's a strong theater.
I only do Cinemark XD.
But we got there, we watched it. So I know this movie came out like last week, so we shouldn't give any spoilers. Yeah. But maybe we could give a little bit of our initial thoughts without any spoilers.
Yes, having watched them back to back, Dune 1 and Dune 2, you have to see it in theaters for one, right? Like you got to see it in theaters because the scale of that movie is it engulfs you in it.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're on another planet. The graphics are stunning.
Yeah, the world building.
You feel you as the audience member feel so small in this massive movie. I will say it moves a little quicker than Dune 1, so you do have to watch Dune 1. This is not one of those movies where you can hop into one of the other iterations and be okay. You have to watch Dune 1. But once you get into it, the world building, the scale of it all, the detail,
like making you actually feel like you're in another planet.
Yeah, it's noteworthy.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to say too much.
It's like the explosions.
Oh gosh,
and this is a very hard thing to do in cinema. Is making explosions look big, right? Especially when you're already have the challenge of making it appear like you're in a different planet.
Sure.
and you've got the challenge of of having machinery and equipment that's foreign.
Yeah.
That you're not going to build. Some of these things they had on the film, like everyone who's seen Dune 1 knows they have these spice mining equipment, which are these massive equipment on screen. No, that's not real. That's effects, right? But to make these things feel like part of the world, and then to also show it in a vast planet that seems endless. Like this filming they've done in Saudi Arabia, the deserts they filmed out there, you could tell they took advantage of like the most remote locations to film, because it did look like endless.
It looked endless.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And then for those who are recall the Harkonnens, they tap into the Harkonnen world. And
some of the best scenes in the movie are in Harkonnen
and the way
world.
they filmed it. The way that this director, I don't know who directed this.
I don't know either.
But the play with color. I love a movie when they got their colors down pat.
Yep.
Some of my favorite movies are like Mad Max is like that. What was that film with the guy that was play Ken in Barbie? No, not Barbie. Ryan Gosling had I think it was some I can't remember that movie. It was a movie that was based in the future, a sci-fi film. Anyway, there was another movie. I'll find the name. But when you have good color choices in the film, and that really hits for me.
Yeah.
And that Dune does a really good job of that.
They do. Yeah. Everything just felt so I mean, obviously it's very deliberate. And another thing that I enjoyed was the writing. I'm being careful with my words.
Yeah.
The writing that highlighted to me the fact that women really do just run the world. Like there's this underlying thread of female
Don't give it up
power that is so, you got to catch it, but it's there. And it's so interesting because stereotypically, if you care about, traditional gender roles, there's always this idea that like the husband is the head, but the wife is the neck that turns the head.
Yeah.
And I think that is so beautifully illustrated in this movie. The fact that, they say that, your husband can't find his keys, but the wife knows exactly where it is. Or that, like, it's literally that. It's literally like there's an air of female strategy that is generations ahead. Okay, I'm no, yeah. But anyway, beautiful film.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
But the movie I was thinking about was Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, Blade Runner. Yeah.
That movie does a great job of color. Of color composition and all that.
Another one, Watchmen, does a pretty good job of color. Watchmen is a good Yeah, Mad Max,
Blade Runner, 2049, Watchmen, and Dune. Yeah, but yeah, check it out. We recommend it. It's worth your time.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
It's very good. If you are a fan, for my Star Wars fans, I know that there's probably some tension between the Star Wars world and Dune world because there are so many overlaps in terms of like storyline and things like that. But if you are a Star Wars fan, and I'm talking the Jar Jar Binks era of Star Wars, then you are going to appreciate the intergalactic world building that you're going to see in Dune. Just because it really takes that sort of thing to the next level. So that's all I'll say as well.
It's a good one. Yeah, so we just talked a lot about viewing movies and things like that.
So you can tell, we're an entertainment family.
Oh, we about some movies. So I think it's time to tap into some things we love. Things we love. Shimmer, shimmer, shimmer.
What? Okay.
Things we love, y'all. Okay. Home theater edition. Because if you are one of those individuals who's like, I love the movies, but I also like a good at home sort of movie moment with my family, and I totally agree, save your coin and have a good time at home. These are some recommendations of things that you can add to your home setup to make it more cozy and theater-like. Yes, and I think that if you're a listener to Lovers and Things, you also have to be a fan of film.
You have to. It's a requirement. Or Get Out. I'm just kidding.
and television, we love a good television show, we love a good film, and it's important to have your home set up in a way to support that.
Absolutely, because home is key. Do you want to start us off, babe? What you got?
Okay, so I think one of the first ways to make your home theater setup seemingly scaleless. Scale, is that a word? I don't know. Seemingly
Limitless?
limitless, I guess.
Infinite?
I don't know about infinite. That's
Big?
is
Make it feel big.
is a projector. And there is this little tiny projector that's available. Samsung makes it. I'm going to recommend 2 Samsung products, or we're going to recommend 2 Samsung products. But this projector is a really cool projector where it's so small and shallow, and it's not like one of those big bulky ones where you can literally put it away. That's the type of projector it is.
Nice.
And then bring it out when you need to have some limitless viewing.
Limitless. That's
Limitless viewing. So I'll put that in the show notes, but it's essentially a tiny projector.
I love that.
And let me see. What's some of the features? Let me spout some of them out. 4K. Okay.
4K is impressive for a projector, y'all.
Yeah, I don't know if this one's it, but I'm pretty sure the one that I have is 4K. But yeah, projector. Just want to add.
And because this projector that Greg is talking about is portable, you can also take it outside if you want to do outdoor movie viewing in the summer. Sure. You can move it all over the place. I've seen these things pop up in bedrooms where people don't want to have huge like TVs on the wall. Like so many things you can do with a small projector like that. So absolutely. Yeah,
definitely. It's called Samsung Freestyle.
The Freestyle. Yeah. Love that.
So check it out. It's a good one. Do you have things we love for the people for their home theaters?
I absolutely do. So as Greg said earlier, your girl loves to binge a TV show or two. And so one of the things that's important to me is that when I got my setup and I'm ready to really sit in and dig in and not move for 4 to 5 hours, what I need...
Only 4 to 5 hours?
Only 4 to 5 hours to start.
It's generous.
I need somewhere to hold my cup and my things. Because, you know, your phone be sliding in the inside. You lose the remote. You want to put your drink down, but you ain't really got the right situation.
Yeah, you want to lean
You don't want to lean
to the coffee table.
You want to get in and you want to stay in if you're a girl like me. And so what I'm going to recommend is this silicone couch cup holder.
Okay.
That is available on Amazon. Only $25. But for $25, what you get is this literal silicone mat that you throw over the armrest of your couch. And it holds steady your cup, your phone, your mini iPad if you want it, a little bit of snack.
A snack.
A little bit of snack. Okay. Like we talking about like peanut M&Ms and some Skittles.
Yeah.
And then also the remote. So all of it's like right there for you. Boy. So you can sit and watch as much TV as you want.
Yeah, y'all.
And not have to worry about spillage on your couch. Not have to worry about losing anything. Everything's right there.
So excited for this.
I love this.
Because you love a good drink. You even got your Simply Modern.
Hello.
It's ready to go.
Not sponsored.
Ready to go.
Not sponsored.
On the ready. So yeah, that's a good idea. It seems like I'm gonna have to buy this.
Yes, you are. It's on the list.
Here we are.
Got anything else?
So with home viewing, you need to make sure your sound is set up.
Oh, period.
And I recommend folks to set up a Dolby surround sound 5.1 system in your home.
I love that.
And this is very critical to getting the optimal surround sound experience. And this is a thing that I love. And I'm not going to mention any brand, but I'm going to mention how to do it. And you guys can just make sure you have your 5.1 setups in your respective homes.
Oh, so 5.1 is the type of setup.
It's a setup.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
And I think, there was this thing that went viral about like how when you watch shows or movies on TV and you can't hear anything, and people have to put the subtitles on.
Yeah.
And, because it's like you can't hear the words and whatnot.
Sure.
And people are reminding folks, make sure you turn off your surround sound. Because if you don't have a surround sound set up, the television is acting like it has a surround sound and it's not really doing the audio right.
Oh, to the front.
Right.
Okay. Yep.
So if you don't have the surround sound set up, it's not going to sound good.
Sure.
So to set that up, it's called 5.1 for a reason, because there are 5 points of sound coming at you.
Interesting. Okay.
Right. That's why it's called Dolby 5.1.
Okay.
And so the setup is with your seating position. In the front of you, you should have a left and a right speaker.
Okay.
Those are 2.
In the front.
Near the TV. And then you have to have one subwoofer near the TV. So that's your 3 in the front. 2 speakers and a subwoofer up front.
Okay.
Hit you with that bass.
I like that.
Right? And then behind you, you need to have left and right surround speakers.
Oh, specifically.
Right.
Surround
speakers. So make sure you get 2 surround speakers, a left and a right behind you. and then up front you get a left and right speaker and a subwoofer.
Okay.
And then you connect them all with whatever setup you have, and you got yourself a home theater setup. It is that simple.
I love
it just takes
that.
5 speakers or 4 speakers and a subwoofer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you get yourself a Dolby 5.1 setup.
I love that.
And I hope it, makes people feel like you can set it up yourself, because it's not that difficult. And once you got that going, you really got an impressive sound system. And I think your friends and family will be like pretty impressed.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Because we've gone to people's house, they got us around, and you hear it in the back of the seats.
Yeah, it's nice.
And you kind of get a little jealous.
A little just shaking in the back. Like, it's great.
Yeah, so that's another thing I love is a Dolby surround sound 5.1 setup.
Love that. Absolutely. All right, I have one more to close it out.
Okay, what you got?
In the same vein of Greg being practical and Lex being extra, I am going to share with you guys a portable fridge. Now, follow me on this. So, again, if you're having family night and everyone is sitting down, everyone wants a cold beverage, right?
Yeah, a cool pop.
A cool pop, if you will.
If you will.
But you also want to get like one of their little ice cream bars, little yogurt snacks, like having a mini fridge in what is going to be your family surround sound TV viewing experience is key, especially if it's not close to the kitchen. In our home, our little areas in the basement, no one wants to go upstairs to get a soda or even a beer.
Pop? You don't want to go up for a cool pop.
I don't want to go up for a cool pop. I want my cool pop right now. And so what I'm recommending.
It's my cool pop, and I'm sorry.
Are you going to say it's my cool pop and I want it now? And I want it now. That's a deep cut.
No, I'm taking it too far, y'all.
But the Frigidaire portable 10, I think this is liter. 10
liter.
It's $50. So like,
wait.
Yeah, it's
What'd you
so
say?
cheap. It's $50
for a fridge.
Yeah, a $50 fridge. It holds up to 15 cans, but also in the door it has like those little, like extra holding areas. And I was thinking, y'all, not only do you get to hold your cans and your yogurts and all that kind of stuff, but you also get to hold your skincare because follow me, if you're going to be watching television and TV and movies and all that stuff for a long time, go ahead and do a facial mask, girl. Do it. Get your facial mask. Make sure it's nice and cool. A sheet mask, and just have a whole self-care moment. And you binge, but it's nice and cool because it's in your mini fridge for $50.
Right. That's a good move.
All I'm saying is for $50, you won't be happier. What other $50 investment's going to give you skincare
your cool pops and your
soda?
Face masks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Matter of fact, if you're not drinking a cool pop, do some teeth whitening while you're at it.
Some teeth whitening. Get your cool your teeth whitening strips.
Cool. Whiten them.
All I'm saying is the fridge can do everything.
I like that.
Thank you.
That's a good practical $50.
That is such a steal, and it's Frigidaire.
Get 3 or 4 of them
around the house. One in the hallway.
I'm thinking of putting one next to my desk.
Okay, now I decide. I'd never see you again.
Hey, it'll be all right.
I'd never see you again.
You'll be all right. I have a walk-on.
Oh, okay, walk-on.
Samsung frame.
I
just hit the mic, y'all. Samsung frame has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's the best television out there. Samsung frame. We have one of those in the house. It during the day or when we're not watching it, it looks like a piece of art.
Yep.
And when we are watching it, it's an amazing television.
Yeah.
4K.
Yeah.
120 hertz.
120 hertz.
That's fast.
That means the video look clean.
It look clean. It's smooth.
To the layman like myself.
If you watch sports, it's good for that. The faster the frame rate, the better the sports look.
Yep.
It is actually a competent television. It's a competent panel.
It's great.
If you will. So yeah, get you a Samsung frame. I love Samsung frames. It's particularly in living spaces where people are walking by the television.
Yeah.
In your bedroom, you don't need all that.
Yeah.
You're not looking at art in your bedroom. You can if you want to, but I think for living rooms, Samsung frame is a good television panel to get.
Absolutely. We've enjoyed ours for the last couple of years. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So those are the things we love.
Yeah.
Things we love edition.
The things we love edition. Home entertainment system
entertainment edition. So let's move into some mail. I think we got a little bit of mail.
Just a little bit of mail.
We actually got one letter.
Yes. So thank you guys. We are reading and responding to your comments that you're leaving on our YouTube channel. We are listening to all the voice notes that you're sharing on the Podcasters app specifically. For those of you who aren't aware, if you want to leave voice notes, you have to download the Podcasters app. It's a derivative of Spotify, but it's its own thing. It's like this purple iconed app. And through that app, you can listen to the pod directly, but then you can leave live messages back and forth. Yeah. Some of you are doing that, and we listen to them, and they're fantastic. So thank you.
And you don't have to download. Because
you don't have to download. The link
that we have on our page, it just takes you to a browser site.
Oh, that's true. Also, you can just listen on your phone or your laptop, whatever.
Yeah. So we got a letter. This was a comment on one of our videos. It goes, it's from Dimples1027. It says, what I don't like is parents saying, I'm not going to help my child through college. If I have to struggle, they have to struggle. That annoys me. And this was on the episode where we're talking about
Black is not a limitation.
Black is not a limitation, and particularly the things that I would say minority communities or communities that are trying to move to a next level needs. And you listed 3 things, which was exposure, experience, and access. Right. And this comment really is pointed because sometimes we do see parents feeling like the struggle is a lifestyle, and that's the struggle ain't cute.
That is so true.
If you have the means and the ability to make it easier for your child, why not?
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And I think, I can only speak listen, I'm a Black person. I have a Black experience. I can only speak for that experience. But I have seen that in my personal experiences, and it's disheartening because I would think that you want your child to have the best of the best. And frankly, suffering the same way Blackness is a lot of limitation, suffering is not a requirement. It's not a requirement. No. If you have the opportunity to help your child go through school or to experience a particular program or whatever, I mean, if you're able to do it, why limit them in that way? Support them in being the best person they could be. You are investing in the future. And I think it's important for us to do that. And I think there's sometimes a little bit of uncertainty with that. Sometimes parents don't understand, who haven't experienced it themselves, what it's like to be supported, what that even looks like. Or if your child is the first one to go to college, you don't understand what that fully entails.
What they need to make it through college.
Yeah. And it's okay to say that I don't understand how this works, but I'm going to try my best to support you. Tell me what you need. Because I think sometimes it's hard for parents to see what they don't understand.
Right. And also, and especially the economy has changed.
Yes. Oh yeah.
$100 you get, when we went to college, $100 would go a long way.
Yeah, $100 was a lot back then.
When we were kids, parents drop you off $100 in the bank account.
You be good for
a
while.
In college, you get you some, make you some bread sandwiches.
Yeah.
Hit up Wendy's.
Noodles. That 4 for $4.
Hey, put a little gas in your car.
Hey, just a little $20 all week.
Yeah. But nowadays things have changed. And I think that's another thing I feel like some parents got to give a little grace to, is that the times have changed in the sense that purchasing things are a lot harder. Interest rates are through the roof. Giving the next generation a bit of a grace and a leg up goes a long way.
It does.
The old pull yourself up by the bootstrap thing is a little old.
Yeah, you can't do that. The economy of the world is so much different. So I love that comment because it points out one of the many trains of thought that I think, we can, by having these conversations, start to break those chains of thought process and provide more support to our youth, our kids. It's so important.
Don't struggle if you don't have to.
Yeah, don't struggle if you don't have to. I don't want to struggle, so I sure don't want my babies to struggle. If I can avoid it,
Yeah, that's a great comment, y'all.
Yes, thank you for leaving that.
Yeah, thank you for that comment. But yeah, I think that's an episode.
Yes,
that's all we got.
That's all we got. We look forward to your comments next week. We look forward to opening more mail. So don't be shy. Talk to us. We talk back, I promise. And we don't bite.
Can we acknowledge those who've made it to this part of the podcast?
Oh my gosh, if you've made it to the end, you're officially Lovers and Things fam.
You're a real one.
You're fam. You rock with us and we rock with you.
I think I have a name for those people. I have a suggestion.
We have a name? Okay, what is it?
I have a name. I don't know if you like it. I think our listeners should be called Lovers. What do you think?
The Lovers?
The Lovers.
The Lovers.
Sit on it.
I'm going to sit on it. We'll take
Or maybe
do you
they
guys
could
like to be
suggest.
the lovers? You guys want to be the lovers? What would you like to be called?
The fingers.
Nah, y'all can't be the thingers because I like y'all too much. I ain't gonna do that. I don't like y'all go out like that. Right? Y'all ain't gonna be the thingers, but you could be the lovers.
Maybe. Let us know what y'all want to be
positive.
called.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. So yeah, this was yet another episode of the Lovers and Things podcast. Keep loving the things
And loving your people. It's so important.
Love y'all.
Bye.